Hey guys, welcome to the 9th C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to use the switch statement. And the switch statement is basically just an alternative to if and else. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is a button and a text box, and once you have it on your form, just go ahead and double click on it. Alright, so to create a switch statement, you're just going to want to type the keyword switch, and then following that you're going to want to have two parentheses. And inside of these parentheses is where you're going to want to type what you're checking. And we're going to be checking textbox1's text. So we're just going to put textbox1's text inside of there. And then you're just going to want to put two curly braces. And inside of these curly braces is where you're going to want to create all of your cases. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a case and then explain what it is. So I'm going to do case and then... Okay, so basically what this is right here is it just says case Adam, and this is basically like saying if textbox1's text equals Adam, then after this colon, we're just going to put what we want it to do. And we're just going to have a message box show saying hello. So we're just going to say hello. Alright, and then in every case, you're just going to want to put break following it. And there are instances where you may want to put something different, but we're not going to learn it in this tutorial. So just put break after every case at the bottom. So what break basically does is it just breaks out of the switch statement. So if you had multiple cases right here, it would just say if it's Adam, and then if it is, it'll do this code, and then following that, it'll just break out of the switch statement and stop checking the other cases. So let's just go ahead here and make sure that this works. So if we put textbox1's text as Adam and click the button, we should get a message box saying hello. Yep. And if we put something else like G, nope, we don't get it. Alright, and you can have multiple cases, as many cases as you want. So if we had another case here, like case Bob, then we're just going to have a message box show saying yo. So, yo. And then of course we need to have that break in there, so we're just going to do break. And now I can really explain break more. So if textbox1's text was Adam, it would say, alright, let's do this code right here. We're just going to have a message box show, and then following that, it's just going to break out of the switch statement. So it would just go down here. It wouldn't even check Bob, because textbox1's text can't be Bob and Adam. It can only be one of the two. Alright, so after doing this code, it'll just break out of this switch statement and go down here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and make sure that this works here. If we do Adam, we should get a message box saying hello. Yep. If we do Bob, we should get something called yo, same message box. Yep, perfect. And in switch statements, the default or the else would just be default. You just type default right there, and then just put a colon following that, and then whatever you want it to defaultly do. So if both of these aren't true, so if textbox1's text isn't Adam and it's not Bob, then it'll just do the default. And we're just going to have a message box show saying your name isn't important. So your name isn't important. And then of course we need to break, so we're just going to do break. Alright, so let's just go ahead and make sure that this works here. Go ahead and type Adam in, we get hello. If we do Bob inside of here, we should get yo. And if we do anything besides Bob and Adam, we should just get your name isn't important. Yep, your name isn't important. Alright, and you can do this with really any data type. So if you wanted to do like int I equals 5, then what you could do is switch I and then check to see what I's value is. So case if I equals 4, then we're just going to have a message box show saying you're too young. You're too young. And then we got a break, of course, and then case 16, message box shows saying you can drive. Alright, and let's just put I equal to 16, I guess, and of course we have to break. Okay, so yeah, this is basically just going to check to see if I is 4, and if it's 4, we're just going to get a message box saying you're too young. If it's 16, we're just going to get a message box saying you can drive. Alright, so let's just go ahead and see if this works here. Yep, we get you can drive because I is equal to 16. If we set it equal to 4, then we get a message box saying you're too young because of this case right there. Yep, and if we were to put a default in, default, it would just do this if your age isn't 4 or 16. So we'll just get a message box saying your age isn't relevant. So your age isn't relevant. I don't know how to spell it, but and then we just need a break out of there, just like with everything else. So for every case and even for the default, you need to have break at the end of it. Let's just make sure that this works here. I is 4, so we're going to get you're too young. Now, if we change it to anything besides 4 or 16, we're just going to get your age isn't relevant. Yep. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial on using the switch statement, so see you guys.